All right, welcome back, System Warriors, to addition to Pedal to the Metal. Aisle 68 here, the legendary one, celebrating Sony's glorious victory on the MPD. But before we talk about that, let's send it over to the Master Shredder, the innovator, the Eroica. What's up, man?
Nothing. What's going on, Hyle?
Not much.
Yeah.
Part two of our Microsoft State of the Union. The last one, I fucked up somehow, so we're doing it again. I appreciate.
We got a new button pusher. So
yeah, we do.
Mess this one up. So we're very fortunate today. But we also have today with us Mr. Animal Mother. What's going on, Animal?
Oh, I thought you guys were gonna call me Ringo Starr. That's enough. That's all I need. Thanks. Not much. We've been busy. If you visited the website, thank you very much. I know Pedal to the Metal you're actually the top author on the website, Eroica.
Ah, thank you.
You and the Bell Tolls for Flavia are neck and neck.
Awesome. Yeah, so, I think I've done 4 or 5. So yeah.
So Pedal to the Metal is fitting in comfortably. Yeah. And everything's doing great.
What's the web address to the website?
You can visit us at pointinsertion.com. We changed our schedule a little bit because we were burning our content a lot. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find a podcast, a web series, and a Velocity video, which is Pedal to the Metal's take on Let's Plays.
And it's all by the community for the community.
Yeah, why don't you explain a little bit about the web series? What's that about? The whole that scope, the arc of the story. What are you going for?
Cactus Team is a good first start by us at Pedal to the Metal and some personal friends. Now we're all friends, and we make bad jokes every week. And we're going for a Machinima series. So that's been up. That's been doing well for how the state of the internet is and how small we are. But we're really happy. We had 400 views last week.
Yeah, very cool. So thank you 400 times.
Thank you, Blabadon, for visiting the site.
So let's get to our guest today, Hyle. Tell us who we got.
Well, we got returning guests from a couple weeks ago. We got Foxbat Alpha. What's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? Pleasure to be here again.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back again. Appreciate that. We also got KW2.
Hello, System Warriors. Happy to be on Pedal to the Metal. I love this podcast. It's an honor to be here, so thanks for having me.
And Eroica, who's our last but not least guest?
Yeah, this is our first time getting to talk to this guy, too. This is Sean 30 with us tonight. What's up, Sean?
Hey, man. Doing good. Ready to talk some Xbox.
All right. Sounds
good.
Invasion
of the Lems. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed here.
You're a Lem, Hyle.
I am.
I love
it. Sounds so funny. I've never said the word limbs and cows in real life. Yeah. Like it's just always been on the form. Like, what the fuck is this?
Not even talking about steak?
No.
I was at GameStop one time buying Dead Rising 3, and two guys were talking about PlayStation 4, and I just mumbled to myself, "Damn cows!" And I was like, "What the fuck?" You know, that's real life. Come on, man.
I've been on the forums. I've been on the forums since 2005, and it took me literally probably 5 years before I used cows, limbs, and hermits and sheep. I just wouldn't.
Me too.
I wouldn't do it. Now it's you said I sound angry. It's almost like an alter ego for me to be on SW. That's pretty much the way I treat it.
So
what's very funny too is it creeps into my real life just a little bit. I sent Eroica a thank you card with a cow on it, so I thought he would get the inside joke. He did. So
yeah, it's pretty funny. So Hyle, what's our topics tonight, man?
We're gonna go over the Microsoft State of the Union, third part of our series. Previously, we did Nintendo and Sony. So this week we're gonna cover Microsoft, everything Microsoft. So we ask why you should have one, if you should get one, and some of the strong parts, some of the weak parts, and some of the parts that we wish were there. And of course, for me personally, the all-important parts to owning any game console is the game. So we're gonna start off. It was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. GameSpot, had an article why you should own an Xbox One in 2014. And they stated it has a strong library of titles, and they went off to list quite a few exclusives. So, which those are titles to play on the system. Not everything's about exclusives. They also mentioned exclusives, which a big one coming up is Titanfall. We'll talk about that. Connect 2.0. I laugh at that. And how it's part of the integral part of the Xbox One, and in my opinion, how they won't ever be able to sell the Xbox One without it, because how it navigates and it coexists with your TV. So what do you guys think? I know everybody here has one, but what would you say to you walk into GameSpot and somebody's looking at let's say, I don't know, a 360 which has, I don't know, 1,000 games, maybe more, less, right around there, or an Xbox One. We'll start with Sean. What would you tell them why they should get an Xbox One this year?
Well, you start out with Titanfall. You just show it. It sells itself. It's not rocket science what it is about that game that attracts you. When you see it, it's just like eating a damn cupcake for the first time. You either love it or you don't give a crap, one way or the other. Yeah, that's just what it is. Number two is the navigation portion is something different that you typically haven't seen. But you start with the games, of course. You look at Titanfall, you know something Halo is coming this year. Quantum Break is probably coming either late this year, early next year. Sunset Overdrive. You got games to show people and say this is coming. And then you look at the system and you look at all the different features. When you talk about the Xbox One, you can't just talk about games. Even if you're on a gaming forum and you're talking to people about games, it's meant to be more than that. If you talk strictly about games 100%, I can make a compelling case just for that. But you're doing the system a disservice if all you talk about is games. You pull up the OS and you show it to people. We watch on gaming forums all day long and videos and shit like that. People bitch, moan, and complain about every little thing for every system under the sun, every single thing that exists. But when it's in front of you, sometimes your perception is different when you see it moving. So get them in front of Titanfall. Get them in front of the previews for the newer games that are coming, because look at what they're doing, and I'll wrap this up shortly. Titanfall is Call of Duty with robots. Anyone that says different is trying to sell you meth. Smoke meth some other day. It's all it is. It's Call of Duty, but I like Call of Duty. That's what it is. Titanfall is Salma Hayek. It's good. That's it. It's Salma Hayek. And if you don't like Salma Hayek, something's wrong with you. That's what it is, and it's good. You start with the games, but you cannot sell the system solely without getting into the other things that it can do. And then you're talking to a consumer or a gamer, and you're trying to say, well, are you interested in just a game system, or do you want a game system that can do all this other stuff? And I have been surprised to show people the Xbox One who don't give a crap about all the stuff I've said it can do. And once they've seen it in front of them, that's pretty damn cool. That's pretty interesting.
All right, so I'm going to wrap what you set up to with Foxbat here. So I also want you to say why somebody should get an Xbox One 2014. But do you think a non-gamer would buy the Xbox One for the TV navigation, the entertainment aspect of it, who doesn't care about games? Do you think there's customers out there like that? So that's two questions to you, Fox. Go ahead.
I guess it depends on what idiot salesman you talk to, what he's going to push. But I don't see picking up the Xbox just for Kinect. If a salesman tells you that, Kinect is it's like a nice side dish. Like, I wouldn't just get it for Kinect. I wouldn't just get it for the NFL app. I wouldn't just get it for, I don't even have it hooked up to my cable box. I'm solely about the games for it. I think Kinect is a nice touch, but I'm just all about the games right now for it.
How about you, KW?
For me, it's got appeal at all kinds of different levels. When I first got the one, I was astounded at the ability to use voice commands. I like that. I think that's kind of where we're going. You're seeing already other TV companies using voice commands, and people knock them and say, "Oh, they don't work that well. They don't do that," and whatever. If you look at even Siri when it first came out, people hated it, and now people love Siri because it's improved over time, and that's what Microsoft's going to do ultimately is improve the OS, improve voice commands. That's one of the reasons. The second reason obviously is the games. We're seeing again, Titanfall is kind of the talk of the town right now, and rightfully so. I disagree with Sean on the simple fact of I think that the gameplay is different than Call of Duty only because of the verticalness of the game and the Titans themselves. Yeah, you've had games that have mechs in them and things like that, but you haven't been able to get vertical quickly in that type of arena in any game that I can think of. And maybe I'm just not thinking of a game right now, but I just can't think of a game that gets you as vertical as Titanfall as quick as it does.
What's that one free to play game for computer? You have jetpacks.
Warframe.
PlanetSide, not Warframe.
PlanetSide?
No,
PlanetSide or Tribes?
Tribes.
Tribes is. I would say Tribes is a little comparable. I don't think it's as fast paced from what I've seen.
Actually, Halo. I don't know when their jetpacks was that in
Reach.
That was in Reach, and even those were very slow. I felt like those were almost an addition to the gameplay and not necessarily a focus. Where I feel like Titanfall with the jetpacks and the wall running, things like that. I really think it does set itself a little bit apart.
Yeah, because I mean,
sorry.
No, I'm just saying if you're on the ground, I think you're not going to be very successful. I mean, if you can duck into buildings, I guess that'd be something else. But usually, the guy with the high ground wins.
No,
go ahead. Go ahead, Animal.
It seems like Titanfall took a playbook out of the Hybrid game, the 2012 Xbox Live Arcade game that came out, the one where you could move vertically and horizontally cover to cover, and you'd have to switch around in midair and stuff. Granted, you still have 3D movement, whereas in Hybrid, you can only move from one cover spot to the next. But it seems like it's taking that approach where it's taking that approach where it's adding the vertical dynamic to the combat.
All right, cool.
Did anybody play Hybrid?
Not Hybrid, no.
No.
Check it out. You guys talking about the verticality kind of reminds me of that.
All right, so we brought up Kinect. Anyway, what I think about that. For me, I mean, to be honest with you, I really like how it turns on because I have it tied to my. I wanted to see what it's like, so I put it onto my receiver. It puts the power on for that, and also my cable box. So when I say Xbox on, it turns all that shit on. Which I had a
really like
remote too that did the same thing, but it's kind of nice to say an Xbox on. For me, I don't think the navigation is that great. I don't think I get 90%. I never really count, but I get frustrated enough that, and I always have the controller in my hand that I use that for navigation. What do you think about that? Do you think that's the future is the voice then? So how can you think just with the software is going to keep getting better and better, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Microsoft hasn't put out a console yet that hasn't gotten better over its lifetime. As far as from an OS perspective, as far as from a features perspective, I think we're just tipping the iceberg right now.
The bad part is like when I tried using it on Christmas. When you have what?
Animal Mother disagrees, but that's not going to be anything new here on this.
No, listen.
podcast.
I know. Listen, the 360 had a great OS. It had a great party system and this and that. The console, I'm not saying the Xbox One is bad per se. I've had enough time with it now to, paint my view. That OS right now is complete shit. And for them to be fixing party chat before Titanfall comes out says that at least the OS was almost broken on some level. Now, I'm not saying the PS4 is perfect because, there's some party chat stuff that's wrong with it, and what have you. But that Xbox OS is a piece of shit right now. I mentioned this the first time we did this. I got my brother an Xbox One for Christmas. I put in Dead Rising 3 to install so my brother could open it up and have it ready for Christmas. The system queued the very first install. It stopped Dead Rising 3 to queue it, the very first install.
That hates you.
It's so... Yeah, thanks, Eureka. That to me says that that software has a serious issue if it's queuing the very first.
but isn't that KW's point was that the OS Microsoft has shown throughout its history that the OS that it starts with continuously gets better from where it starts.
yeah.
So the sky's the limit.
But their OS...
I remember
started such a
Windows
piece of shit.
XP, and what Windows, the fact that Windows XP is only now getting phased out, that there are corporations that have still been using it. Microsoft will get the OS in order, but let's look at the launch games. Neither one of these systems were going to come out in 2013, and neither of them should have. If we would have got Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in the fall of this year, we would really be seeing some spectacular stuff. Man. But this early on junk, I don't agree at all that the OS is a complete piece of shit. I mean, it's not perfect. But to call it a piece of shit, no. We use a piece of shit.
You definitely got that sense that they just said, turn the fucking thing on and have it play a disc and get it out the door. Like, yeah. They're going to take care of everything. And we were talking about...
But it should have been RTM. The OS should have at least been RTM. It clearly wasn't.
The update that got delayed this week was supposed to tighten up some of the voice commands. So it's like we talked about this last time too. Look at the 360 where it started and where it ended. Did you guys ever play Ghost Recon back in the day on the 360 when it came out?
Yep.
Remember how atrocious that... I don't even think they had the party system incorporated with that game. Like if you want, if you wanted to get into a match with your buddy, it was kind of hit or miss. And me and Hal were playing the other night. I don't know if he had this reserved for later, but they definitely got some updates coming. We experienced it
awful, wasn't it?
And
we experienced it firsthand. Like, what the fuck? It's like not 2 steps back. It's several. And
that's where I'll agree with Animal Mother for sure. Is that party chat? It's broken.
It's a disaster. It really is.
And I'm currently in a KI league right now, and it just it's a hassle to get in and out of games with someone that you're supposed to play in the league, just because of the fact that party is broken. And I think just like Microsoft they've pretty much owned up to this by trying to release, prior to Titanfall, a patch and an update, and they're going to do 2 updates, not just one before Titanfall. They're doing 2 within a month of each other. So
and we'll likely see 4 more this year too.
And that's great. I think that's fantastic. And I think it's exactly what exactly goes along with what I said. They're going to figure this out. And I also agree with you, Sean, that these systems, both of them, I can't believe that they launched last year. I really can't. And I'm an early adopter. I'm always an early adopter for consoles, but I really can't believe that they launched last Christmas.
I love Dead Rising 3. I just think it is a very simple, good game. It is absolutely a 360 game that runs better than the 360 could run it. That's all
a lot
it is.
of fun.
Yeah, but it is. But there's no way in the world that if Dead Rising 3 was coming out next fall, it would look like that. And I don't think it looks terrible, but none of these systems, I don't think whatever games start to come out next fall are really, in my opinion, the first next-gen games we'll see. Killzone looks great, and it's shit.
No, it's not. It's beyond stunning.
Oh, good Lord, no.
It's no rise. It's no rise. It's no
the
rise.
gameplay's beyond stunning, or the graphics?
I enjoyed the game myself.
I like Killzone. I have a soft spot for it.
Mediocre shooters. That's awesome.
No, come on.
We didn't say Halo. Come on.
I think Killzone. I think this was definitely the weakest Killzone, but I think it looked really, really good.
Oh yeah, they got some great graphical artists.
But I will admit this though: the best game I played between both systems is a multiplayer, and that's Assassin's Creed.
That is a stunning game, but you could tell that that's a mixed.
That game is just.
They do that. They do this every generation. When I remember last generation, it was Gun. It was games
Perfect
like
Dark.
that Perfect Dark games that maybe had a little bit of a piff upwards in terms of graphics and performance, but for the most part, you knew you were playing a port of a last gen. That's kind of why I want the consoles the Gen 7 consoles to get killed off quick, because I bought a PS4 and I want games to come out that are like actually for a PS4. When I get my Xbox One, I want the games to be designed for the Xbox One and not this whole cross-generational stuff.
I don't think we're going to see that though. I think we're going to see.
Yeah.
I
gonna be
think we're
hard
going to
to
see
turn-
a longer of a cycle with the PS3 and
It's
the
gonna be hard to turn
360.
your back
I agree.
on 80
I
million
agree.
people.
Well,
Yeah,
and not only that, you got
yeah.
you got Sony that's in financial dire straits. So the PS3 is giving them a ton of cash whenever somebody buys one, and then you've got Xbox who says, why not keep it? There's no reason not to with the 360.
Microsoft will throw a few bones at the 360 because it's a workhorse. I mean, it is the 360 is Windows XP. In all honesty, it's just gonna keep going until it dies.
I think their main
And-
franchises, at least for Microsoft, which would be Gears,
Yep.
Halo,
Oh yeah.
Forza, and we can call it Dead Rising 1, Outbreak. I don't think we'll see those games on the 360.
No.
I
Any,
I know.
I thought maybe they'd release like maybe Forza Horizon for it, but I don't even think we're going to see that. So I think they'll let the console survive on the multi-plats because these big developers don't want to spend, I don't know, $10 million on a game and then only sell to install base of
10
you know,
million.
a fraction of what you could get. Because I mean, shit, we still see PS2 games.
No, they made the last PS2 game.
When was it?
It was FIFA 13, I think.
All right, so 2013.
That was the last PS2
So
game.
that's
Really?
When did that come out? 1999 or 2000?
2001 the PS2 came out, didn't
So
it?
12 years, we're still seeing, But anyway, I think the multi-plats will take care of both the PS3 and the Xbox.
And
I don't think we'll see very
I'll-
many
I'll
exclusive.
say this because I was posting on System Wars. If the powers that be deem that Titanfall is a pillar that this Xbox One will need to stand on for the next half decade, they will pay whatever Respawn needs to be paid.
They will.
And it will never end up on a PlayStation system. Now, granted, it's got to perform like we think it may. But if they identify that as a Gears Halo level, I don't care what anyone says about the Sony PlayStation 4 base and whatever it'll be in a year and in 2 years. Everybody's got a price. Every developer has a contract that can state what they're looking for and money in a way that they can be bought. It's just, do you want to pay it? Respawn and EA, especially EA, is as greedy as a pimp. The Brinks truck will be backed up into the front lawn of good old Vince, and someone will pay.
Now, I don't know the business side, but does EA own that IP then, or does Respawn own it?
I think Respawn. I think
Respawn owns it. I think.
Yeah, but
EA
there
just
was
has a publishing deal.
There was that report after the thing that leads me to believe otherwise is that there was a report after they announced the X1 exclusivity on the first Titanfall that Vince Zampella said that he didn't even know that there was a deal in place until EA told him when the story broke, which leads me to believe that EA has more of a stake in the direction of the franchise than maybe we think they do.
Yeah,
EA doesn't go in and play backseat to many developers just because that's the nature. I mean, they just don't do that. They're the ones that press. They're the ones that dictate. Who would they pussyfoot around? BioWare? I don't think so. Well, maybe. I don't know. You think so?
It depends on the developer contract with the parent company.
Yeah. But
if you've got a good deal, which I think Respawn, after leaving Activision, I don't think they would have signed for EA if they didn't get what they wanted in writing to a degree. But EA was going to want something too.
Yeah, but the main reason they sign with somebody like EA is because they need the money. Think about it. I mean, otherwise they could have gone with a much smaller publisher. Who'd they go with? The biggest Titan on the planet. That's
and EA is in bed with Microsoft.
But EA probably wanted to capture the COD market too, because those are the original creators. They created the monster we have. Now, if we're on Titanfall, I have a question for you, all you guys. This game is on PC and Xbox 360 and all this stuff. Is it going to a Halo level, let's say, or a Call of Duty level? Is that healthy for the game industry this gen?
Sure.
Let me finish. Do we need another 10 years of developers trying to copy Respawn now, trying to make Titanfall clones?
Oh yeah. Do you remember that garbage PlayStation 3 game that was a ripoff of Gears of War? That was so terrible it was beyond words.
Quantum
I don't
Theory.
know. It was horrible.
Quantum Theory,
It'll
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna see copycats. Make no mistake, someone's on the drawing board right now. Robots, 35 people on each side. I mean, believe me, it's on somebody's drawing board.
But yeah,
But if
I
the
mean,
game is good,
Hawken came out though. I mean,
Mhm.
Hawken's coming out on Steam, and you know, there's always been games with robots. So
Mm.
Well, the reason I think I'm going to expand on Eroica's point, the reason I don't think it's going to stay just on Microsoft is because Respawn knows what Sony and the PlayStation brand sold for the Call of Duty games. So I tried to do the math, and I know they don't get the whole chunk of the $60 game, but between that and DLC, and if you're talking, well, I don't know if it'd be a yearly franchise, but you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue at least, right?
Yeah.
That they would be giving up for not, for not.
Well,
for
I
not
doubt any of those deals are inked yet. I think a lot of it's going to come down to how much this game performs sales-wise and how it moves Xbox Ones.
And really,
So
if we're shooting brass tacks, it doesn't really matter if it comes to Sony for System Wars because it's on PC. So we'll hide behind the PC, brothers.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Represent.
Look at the MPD this month. So you got basically 150,000 Xbox One sold. Let's
Mhm.
say in next month, when this launches, you've got it launches March 11th. So it's got a whole month to be able to sell the game and the Xbox Ones. Think
And-
about it. Think about if it sells anywhere from 600 to 700,000 systems in that month.
Yeah,
They're gonna do
and
everything
Microsoft
too
They're
high.
going to do
marketing
everything they
is
can
gonna
to lock
treat
it
That's
them like
high.
Halo.
That's definitely high. I'm not going to disagree with that. But if it does, I completely believe that Microsoft will cut a check to whoever they need to pay for
Mhm.
that game.
Yep.
But I think
And
I think
everybody got a price. Everybody. If you think they
but
don't, Fantasyland.
But the barrier of entry for that might be a little too high to some people. That's you're asking for almost $600 now, because
True.
now they have to bundle it. They have to bundle it at
You
a
know,
reduced
Nike-
price, like $550 or something.
Plus
That's
live.
cool.
Nike will sell you a LeBron James gym shoe for $300, and you better believe they'll sell out at every Foot Locker. And it don't make sense to me because it doesn't make sense to me. But if it's thought to be a premium and it's marketed as if it's a premium item, people will buy it. And Microsoft, you are about to see Titanfall on every show you watch and every sporting event you watch from now till March. Walking Dead, Olympics, NBA playoffs, you're not going to be able to miss it. They're going to treat it like it's an event. And it's going to sell. Now, I don't know if it's going to see 700,000. I would say near 5.
But even
and that's
500,000 is a lot. That's a
Oh, yeah.
ton.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a success,
I
and it's
think
going
we'll
to
see
sell
half
the 360.
So
I,
No,
well,
I,
throw this
if we
back
can
over to
half,
Fox
I
Facts.
think we'll see 250.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft can do half of that without Titanfall. They
But
just did it.
250 is not going to be enough for them to cut a check. It's not going to be.
That's only 1 month
250,000.
though.
It's 1 month,
it's,
but
it's 21 days. It's
Yeah.
3 weeks.
So what do you think,
Titanfall
Fox?
can
We
have
haven't heard
legs.
from you.
What's that?
Do you think it's going to stay on the Microsoft PC platform, or will it ever go to Sony PS4?
Well, that's what I was trying to say. It's all going to come down. I think they have a couple contracts sitting there with empty lines that they're going to fill in after this
Mhm.
releases. And it's all going to come down to performance. And I think if it is too good to be true, they're going to lock it down, and it's never going to see a Sony console.
All right.
But will
You
EA
know-
ink the deal? If they can break even and come out a little more with Sony on their side. I mean, granted, the game's going to sell gangbusters in its lifetime regardless.
Well, remember during the release party that Microsoft had for the Xbox, they were announcing that partnership with EA. Nothing has really come of that. Like, I don't see the benefit of being a partner with EA. This could be one of those things that we might
And
finally
I think
see.
other ones. If you look at Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and Star Wars Battlefront as 3 big games for EA coming up in the next 2 years or whatever, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts. One of them is a timed exclusive on the Xbox One. One of them.
No way.
I would bet one of
Nope.
them is timed exclusive, not anything else.
They can't
But
do
I
it,
would
man.
bet money. Oh, I don't. See, that's the thing when we talk about, and I know we're gonna always argue about
You're
this.
talking Mass Effect? No way.
You are
No way.
you are talking about Microsoft and Sony as if they are on the same playing field with
Yeah,
money.
they're
That doesn't mean that Microsoft is just because they're worth 280 billion or whatever it is that they'll throw X amount of dollars at Xbox because they believe it's going to turn around. And I know it doesn't work like that. But on a game by game basis, if they deem this as strategically smart, they can do things Sony cannot touch. They can.
But there's
Now,
no
on a
return
regular-
on investment there. If Mass Effect was, I mean, you're gonna sell
Microsoft return on investment is not winning systems wars, polls, and forums.
not System Wars. I'm talking just regular business.
Yeah, but the regular bit service. Xbox Live, Xbox Video, Xbox Music, Xbox Fitness, every little nickel and dime. If you're in the ecosystem, they're going to get money. It's like Burger King and McDonald's. Burger King and McDonald's are both billion-dollar companies. McDonald's is the bigger one, but Burger King stocks are fine, and they're making a good profit, and the business keeps moving. That's really all these companies care about. It's nice to be number one in the public eye, but if you're in the green, who cares?
Yeah,
Time-
exactly.
And that's all MS
To me,
wants.
timed exclusives offer very little reward. I mean, there's
Oh, I disagree.
No, if it was Mass Effect, that would matter. At least to me, that would matter.
Dude, all those early franchises that really set a staple and set an entire, sequels to follow. BioShock and Mass
that's because
Effect
because the 360 came out a year before the PS3.
But
Yeah,
those
but-
games weren't
but-
on the 360 the year that it came out, though.
Yeah, I'm talking even in 07, Heil, when Mass Effect came out and BioShock came out. Like those games came out as Xbox. I know that they were also on PC, but they were console exclusive games that were not on the Sony platform. So, people went through the journey of those games and their sequels on Microsoft consoles because they got the first one on the console.
Yeah.
People love doing
never-
that.
Mass Effect 1, I was never going to buy it on another system, and it just was not even going to be a reason to. But now, that's if you like the game. If it doesn't mean anything to you, then it's a wash. But, I just think that strategically they'll open up the checkbook for certain games.
My ultimate question is, I mean, since we're on EA so heavily, aside from Mass Effect, what was their last big exclusive franchise?
Microsoft's?
EA.
Well, I mean, are you discounting the amount of Maddens and FIFAs that sell for EA?
Madness
Every year
now, though.
Regardless of what you think about the game,
Battlefield.
Oh yeah,
Battlefield, they sell a ton, and they sell every single year. It's money in the bank.
Well, I'm talking about exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
When was the last single game like Mass Effect? Like I'm recalling, like, is Mass Effect the last game that was exclusive in EA's
EA had to
repertoire?
whore it out.
No. Wait, hold on a second. Mass Effect was not owned by EA.
Yeah.
That was
It was owned by-
independent. That was independent BioWare. They released that.
Oh, it
because
was Mass Effect 2 that went.
Right. BioWare had pledged Microsoft support only for the Xbox 360 gen before they were purchased by EA. When they got purchased by EA, all that went out the window. The
Yes,
only
that's a good
only
point.
the only reason that Mass Effect didn't go multi-plat earlier is because Microsoft actually did the publishing on that game. And after the years went by and everything was said and done, I think they just released it so that, I don't know for what reason, but Sony was able to make a copy of it.
So when was EA's last exclusive game?
I can't think of one.
Yeah, you got a good
me
point.
either.
Star Wars Knights of the Republic for PC, I guess.
No, that was on Xbox. Oh,
Last-
the Old Republic. The Old Republic.
MMO.
The MMO is just PC only, right?
So-
Yeah, that technically counts.
My point is, that is their last. My point is, as far as console games go, we haven't seen at least we can't recount in the past 10 years. I mean, let's laugh at the MMO.
Who owns PopCap?
That was a wonderful failure. EA hasn't had an exclusive game in, at least I can't think, 10 years.
Isn't does EA own PopCap?
No. Maybe. I don't know.
Because Peggle 2 just came out.
And I guess my ultimate point is...
Oh, next week.
is EA going to start pushing?
Pouring it out.
They're gonna eventually. I think Titanfall, like Mass Effect, will be exclusive for X amount of time until those contracts expire.
Right.
And I think you'll start seeing Titanfall on PS4.
And Animal, to answer your question from a little while ago about do we need another, big Call of Duty-esque type franchise that people copy, something I wanted to say to that kind of ties into what we're talking about right now. Like that whole arena of genre of video game, it's okay that there is a big mega super FPS competitive multiplayer shooter that reimagines or like reinvigorates that genre, and I think that that's where Titanfall is going to come in and I think really, really do gangbusters, is that it's okay that there's something that leads that genre. And I don't know, as we go ahead.
Do we need it again though? Because we know everyone caught on to Call of Duty in the past 2 years, maybe. I mean, Black Ops was sufficiently better than the counterparts that Infinity Ward produced, but
it's not that we don't need it. We do need it. We do need developers to shoot for the very best game in whatever genre they're going for. We don't need is the copycat bullshit. And I know we've already gone through that conversation, but I don't know. As we've been talking about, like Titanfall's impact, it just keeps glaring out at me. But
yeah. Titanfall's a huge game, and there's no denying it at all.
It might even resurrect Steel Battalion. Like, hey, throw in some jetpacks.
Because the last Steel Battalion that everyone was gonna be like, shit, guys, Steel Battalion on Kinect's gonna be the tits.
Now it failed because it didn't have the controller, but that's a whole nother.
So let's bring that up. That's
Kinect only game.
That's a good segue. So let's move into. We talked about the navigation with the Kinect. And we talked about how integral it is part of the system. So 2 questions here. We'll start with let's start with Sean here. 1, do you think there'll ever be an Xbox sold without it? And 2, are games even a viable vehicle for Kinect?
Second question first. There will never be a core gaming experience with Kinect ever. But what about those imaginative, creative games? When they turn that Xbox One into a dev kit, there's going to be the college students or some guy with a great idea that is working with Kinect that has probably, been updated a few times and works better. It's going to come up with some very interesting ideas. Kinect can probably do, in the hands of a developer that really wants to put it in there and has some skill and some imagination and enthusiasm about it, can add some things to core gameplay. But as far as it is you not having a controller in your hand, that will never work, at least not in my opinion. Now, when I see kids like my little sons come over, they 5 and 6, they love Kinect, and that's for them. For them, the kids games, the little guys, they will love it. For us, no, we will not be doing that. But now, what about a core game where you can yell out, eject Titanfall, eject, and all that stuff? Little added things that can be kind of cool if you want to do it. I think there's room for stuff there. As far as selling it without, I don't think they ever will, because you have to have something you can point to and say, in every Xbox One console, this is something different than the PlayStation 4. You're not going to win for specs. You're not going to win for parity in terms of multi-plat graphics. That's not a fight I even want to entertain an argument about, because unless there's magic in the box, like literal Harry Potter magic, it ain't going to happen. Now, will games get better and look good? Of course they will, but it won't. So, once again, I said it earlier. When I've shown people the Xbox One that had no interest, I don't care about no Kinect, I don't want to wave my hand around and talk to the TV, and I've sat down and sort of navigated, played with it, Skype, showed my wife the Xbox Fitness, they're impressed. At least some of the people I've seen. I've seen some opinions change. So I think refining Kinect, refining the OS, how it operates, it is a differentiating element to the system. I don't think they ever sell it without. I don't want the Xbox One without Kinect. Not for gaming, for the other stuff. I really don't. Don't. But some people don't give a crap about it. Fine. Drop it to $400 and eat the damn $100. That will do more for Microsoft going forward. Of course, Sony can drop the price again. But Sony, once again, no matter how much Kaz and all these fucking Antonio Banderas bullshit gifs is out there and all that garbage
Love it.
shit,
Love
Sony is kind of going broke. It ain't. We're not making this shit up. Now, if I Can Has says Sony is fine, I don't give two craps. Forbes says Sony going broke. Washington Post says they're going broke. They're going broke.
But
And
Sony,
it's a slow process.
but like we discussed before we started the podcast, there's no doubt, in my mind at least, that Sony, we've discussed them kind of cutting the heads off the multiple dragons. They're kind of like a chimera.
They're doing better, but
You can't
they're
deny
trying.
that they will salvage that PlayStation division. They will fight tooth and nail, and they will salvage.
It's a pillar of Sony. Oh
It's-
yeah.
even
it's
if they
something.
lose TV, even if they lose TVs, even if they lose sound, even if they lose whatever,
But
they
the
will
tougher
off that
position,
entertainment division.
even though it's there, they will never have the money to fight Microsoft.
They don't need to.
Never.
They got the
No,
reputation.
no. As time passes, we're speculating on these two systems that have been out 2 months, and of course we have to look at trends. All we can look at is what's happened so far, and we see what happened this month and at launch and worldwide and both systems. There's no way we can know what will happen in the next year or two.
A
100%.
nuke could hit Microsoft. Nobody knows.
Yeah, anything could happen. Anything is possible. I've said before the podcast started, I believe within the next 5 years, someone will enter the console market with a legitimate console, not what Amazon's planning, which is Roku with sweet Candy Crush crap, and Amazon Prime. That's what I think it is. It's a glorified cell phone that you got to put underneath your TV. That's what it's essentially going to be. I think someone else is going to come in, whether it's Apple, whether it's Samsung, whether it's someone else with a ton of money. Someone's going to come out, and I don't think we're going to get 10 years out of either of these boxes. I think we're going to see a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox 2 within 5 years, and they're
No.
going to both be cloud-based.
No,
We- you
Five
know,
years?
hey,
No way.
no way.
You would not. Nothing would be 100% shocking to me.
So,
Would
Sean,
I
are you
guarantee
saying
it? Would I pay my
PS5 is a
check?
joke?
No.
Ask Nintendo how that worked out for them with the Wii U.
Yeah, but Nintendo's only had 2 failures. They had the GameCube and the Wii U now. I mean, it's not like
And they were colossal failures.
Well, the
From a
GameCube.
Well, I
company-
certainly
made
wouldn't
money.
guarantee it.
Company
Yeah, I
that
wouldn't
never-
guarantee it, but I don't believe these systems will see 10 years. That I'll
I
stand
think
on.
the platform will change. I think we'll move into more. I think once it sucks. Comcast just bought Time
it's
Warner.
terrible.
Oh,
Shit.
Terrible.
I work at IBM, and we were talking about that shit today, and they own the internet market. AT&T ain't never gonna be able to do shit. I mean, you can't split that cable signal with that internet signal and get any kind of speeds that's gonna be anywhere near what Comcast is doing. And by the time Google and fiber optic America, you and all of us will be on the PlayStation 7 by then.
Well,
So
but
it- you know.
that's the other problem is net neutrality. I mean, we would all love for these platforms to become streaming machines,
Mm-hmm.
but that won't happen with the ISP slowing down bandwidth because people aren't paying enough money.
All right, so let's swing that question over to Foxbat. Then, do you think they'll ever sell the X1 without a Connect? And what about the games? Is Dance Central and Connect? What is that? Rivals the only games that are worth playing?
Just because I liked Animals' response last time, I'm going to say it again. They're sticking to their guns. Come on, yell at me.
I'm too stressed to yell.
Sticking to their fucking guns?
All right, you know what? You've enticed me. I don't think they
got
will
him going.
keep
You
that
got him going.
fucking thing in the box. Listen, you guys are praising Connect, and Connect is definitely Connect.
I'm not praising Connect.
Connect's
No, I
definitely
don't
a lot
praise
better
it, I
than what
just
the
like it.
PlayStation. The PlayStation 4 does the same exact thing. If I have my mic plugged in, I can say I'm playing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. I could say
How's the
change.
tits look?
Great. I honestly I thought they made her bust bigger, but I was just losing my mind. No, but if you're playing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition with your mic in, you could say map, and it'll pull up the map. You could say machine gun. She'll pull out her machine
Yeah.
gun. and all that shit.
It's like I said earlier. It's all like a side dish.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And the PlayStation 4, while not as robust as Kinect, it can offer the same type of thing as Kinect, and that's why I think, like Sean was saying, I think they'll have to lose something in that box or wait a whole lot of time to drop that price.
If
to
things
400.
get bad, yeah, if things get bad enough, I can see they would have to resort to that. But right now, I think their goal is they
Get
want
it
this
out there,
thing.
get it in the
Yeah,
homes.
they want this thing as the next microwave oven. They want it as the next,
They've
great thing
designed
you
it
have. Yeah,
to be able to improve it, like Siri. Do you guys think
no,
that
I'm
they're
not
going
saying
to do
about
it?
that.
Hmm.
No. It's like they want it in your home, and
Oh yeah.
you kind of touched on this too. They want it in every developer's hand
They all
because
do.
they are praying some developer comes up with something
They
that
will.
they haven't
Hmm.
thought of yet. And right
And it
now,
won't be the
it's
big
just
boys. No one at Activision is gonna put 20 million bucks into a core Connect game.
Mm-mm.
But the indie guys who might really look at it and say, "I got an idea," I got this crazy idea. Let's throw it together and put it out there. And that's where they're gonna make their money. And also the kids. If you have seen children play Connect games, especially the simple ones, the connectables and the old 360, and my godsons are playing the wave race. There's money in Connect for children, and there's some really good stuff coming. Core gamer, no, and it really eat the $100. That's easier said than done because it ain't coming out of my pocket, and I don't have to answer the stockholders. But eat the $100, drop the price. Let Sony drop to 350. That's fine. Cheaper is cheaper. If Sony can even afford to do that, cheaper is cheaper.
So, what about you, KW? Would you think two questions? Will they ever sell a console without the Kinect? And what about the games? Are they just destined to be, like Sean says, just for kids only?
Yeah, no. For the first question, I don't think they'll ever do it. And I said that last time we talked. Is that it's basically waving the white flag for Microsoft if they take out Kinect. They have to differentiate themselves from
Yeah.
Sony. They've done a great job of doing that, I think, so far. Even though they haven't sold as many consoles as Sony, but no one expected that with a $100 price difference. But if they don't have Kinect in the box, then it's like, hey, what are you going to offer those kids? Like Sean says, again, you're talking about. So for me, I've got a wife, I've got 4 kids. We've got gamers that span the spectrum of 5-year-olds all the way up to 40-year-olds. So, and we've got women in there too, which Kinect is perfect for when you're talking about the workout games and things like that. And then for the kids games, the Wave Race and the Kinect Sports Rivals, which is going to be coming out here in the next couple months.
Disneyland Adventures.
And Disneyland Adventures is another one.
Mhm.
Those are all fun games to play for the entire family. For someone
Yeah.
like me who's got multiple people in my home, it's absolutely a great thing to have. And if it didn't have it, it definitely wouldn't get as much playtime.
My wife is.
The one does not get shut off in my house. It's always on, whether it's TV, whether it's gaming, whether it's watching Netflix, whatever it is, it's always on. And that it was the way that way with the 360 for me as well because of the integration from certain other apps. Now that being said, with you're saying, is there ever going to be a core game that's only Kinect? I have no idea. I think that we're going to see some more revolutions this coming gen.
Mhm.
Look at Project Spark. They're already going to be able to motion cap in
Oh yeah.
certain things within that game. So you
And they're
are going
talking
to
about
see,
voice too.
and they're going to do voice. So you're gonna see just like you said, Sean. You're going to see people that aren't big, that are wanting to develop their own games. Project Spark is going to be the way for them to do that with Kinect. And I love Kinect Rivals on my one already. I love the Wave Race game. It's super fun. It's actually pretty accurate comparatively to last
Yeah, it is
gen's
tight.
Kinect.
Oh
Very
man.
tight.
And I think that's actually going to be a sleeper hit for the Xbox here in the next few months, and it's going to be a Kinect only game. So I don't know what core means necessarily anymore, because I would say that the Little Big Planet on the PS3, I think that was a core game, and I think that Project Spark is going to be a core game that implements Kinect as well.
What about
But
you? What about you, Eric? And what do you think? Are they ever
I-
going to?
everything that KW just said, I totally agree with. My family is the same thing. I've got the whole ranging, group of, family, everybody games on something different. And I agree. I think that that Microsoft's goal is to keep Kinect out there. They want to saturate it. They want devs to use it. I think, kind of as you guys said, if anything, it's going to be a last ditch effort, or they'll make like some type of a streamlined, quote unquote gamer edition of the Xbox One that doesn't need to connect, and maybe sell a different SKU. But even that sounds really far fetched. I think that it's here for the long haul. So
If they do that, I will go to Microsoft personally and slap somebody for calling it the gamer edition.
well, I'm just saying.
I will go there personally and bitch slap the shit out of somebody and be like,
For some
"What?"
reason, I thought you said I thought you were going to say that you were going to hang up the cow status.
No. No, I mean, listen.
Microsoft is wanting someone on this planet to have a Facebook-like idea with that Kinect.
Mhm.
Just something that ain't nobody
Exactly.
ever thought about. The damn thing can read your heartbeat, and you can consistently improve upon it like Siri. They're gonna be able to do different things. They're fighting the fact that on E3, Spencer went up on stage, dropped his pants, turned around, and shit on the floor. They're fighting that. So he just shit on the floor. If he'd have done that, that would have been better than what they had went through. And Sony didn't do anything but just say ha ha, like the dude from The Simpsons. That's all they said, which was brilliant. It was brilliant. Like, as much as it pissed me off, because I knew I was gonna have to evade the boards for a few days because I was
Knock
gonna
the
have a
fuck
headache.
out.
But I mean, ultimately, that's what they did. And then Microsoft had the worst press. They had people that everything that they said in every interview became a 20 thread because it was garbage. And it costs more. Then you got all these guys from Sony Gaff, these rumor mongers that always have nothing but negative Microsoft information. It's always negative. It's not even fair as in positivity. Like, well, the guys are working on the game and it's coming along so well. It's always negative, all of it. And so you come back from all of that to where they are now. They're probably near or around 3.5 million sales. Titanfall is around the corner. They've got to get that price down. They've got to continue to refine, connect, to offer more stuff. When my wife don't give a crap about no video games, she saw Xbox Fitness. And they've got so many 10, 15-minute workouts that are free. And they turn it almost into a game where you're looking at the silhouette of yourself and you're getting points and gamer scores and achievements. There's something there. And then you look at how the kids play it. There's stuff there, but Activision, EA, BioWare, Bethesda, none of them are going to spend no money and time on making a core Kinect game. But the indie guys, they shouldn't. The ID platform where you're starting to bring all these people in, opening up the Xbox One to becoming a dev kit. Whenever they eventually do that, that's where Kinect is going to really start to offer stuff. Not core gaming, but other stuff. And as they drop the price, they're going to do pretty well. But once again, it's got to happen. And it ain't happened yet. But it's got to happen.
So let me shift gears here, guys, a little bit. Let's talk about the future of the actual games that we love to play. And what I'm talking about is some rumored games that leaked out not too long ago, and some games that we know are coming up. But let me start with some of the rumored games. A leak that came out on NeoGAF, I think it was just a little over a week ago, had revealed that we would be staring down the barrel of a Halo 2 anniversary releasing this year, Halo 5 getting pushed to 2015, and Crackdown 3 in 2016. What do you guys think about those rumors, and do they get you pumped, or is it more same old from Microsoft?
Yeah, I think for me, Halo 2 Anniversary doesn't get me pumped. I want to see them come out with some new IPs. I want to see them come out with the next Halo. I'm okay with Halo 5 being pushed to 2015.
Yeah.
I never thought it was going to come out in 2014 or 2014 at all. I didn't think they had the base to be able to launch a game like that and keep up an online lobby and keep up an online system nearly enough to have that game out in 2014. Crackdown is interesting. Hopefully they revert it back to Crackdown 1 and not Crackdown 2's roots, because I wasn't a big fan of Crackdown 2. I loved Crackdown 1.
Me
And
too.
I think 2016 would be a good time for that. The question is where do you fit in other games? And there's going to be a Gears, so that's
Yeah.
either going to come out. It's not going to come out next year in 2015. So, and I don't think they're going to wait all the way to 2017 to come out with a Gears. So it's got to come out sometime before then. Plus, you're going to see some other games as well that we haven't even thought of yet, and we haven't seen. I guarantee you, E3 will be a good showing for both companies. It has to
Oh
be
yeah.
for both
Oh yeah.
companies in order to sustain them, and especially for Sony going into E3 as well for the gaming front, because literally I would love to buy a PS4 this year, but I just don't see a game that's going to make me do it. So I think they've got to have a big E3, and I think Microsoft, knowing how they've done E3s in the past, where they do usually come out and say, hey, we've got one game that we're going to show you, and oh, by the way, it's coming out in 4 months. It's coming out in 5 months.
Microsoft's E3 program should, once again, it can't be worse. It literally, unless he shits on camera, on the floor, and it lays the microphone in the shit, can't be worse. It just can't be. So if I did Microsoft's E3, it'll be 20 minutes. It literally, I wouldn't have no stage presence whatsoever. I would have 10 minutes. I would show every new feature, and at the bottom of the screen, price drop. And then I would show every trailer for every game, and then have him walk off the stage, and that'd be it. Because everything they say is word vomit. It's just vomit.
Yeah. I agree. No, man, you got to drop the mic in a pile of shit and then walk off the stage.
Yeah, he couldn't do any. I mean, it's like the first 5 months of this system coming out, the things that have been said from the people inside the company have been some of the most head scratching, dumbass things you could possibly say. It would be like holding an AA meeting at a bar. Those people work at Microsoft. It's like holding a dare meeting at a crack house. It's the same thing. It makes no sense,
There's no doubt that Microsoft has had employee turnover to such an extent that the original vision and the original team that worked on the Xbox 360 is nowhere to be found on the Xbox One.
Oh,
but
let me ask you guys this, because let me ask you guys this: had Microsoft gone to E3 with everything that they planned on doing with the DRM, but finished it with this. But if you choose to play games the way you always have with the disc, you can. How would that have been received?
Wait, can you?
I think I don't think that would have made a difference. I think what they needed to do was really tell the public, hey, we're going to make this a DRM system, but oh, by the way, you're going to be able to share games with friends, with family, with whoever you want for a limited amount of time. And I don't think there would have been nearly the backlash that they saw.
It was the way they presented it.
It was terrible.
It was just
awful.
awful.
Well, they didn't have what it was going to do. What they didn't have their policies decided then, so you were getting conflicting reports and having poor.
They should have never released that information at E3. That was because they didn't have it complete. That was
and the major was standing there holding his fucking jockstrap in his hand, going, "Well, thanks, guys," and trying to explain all that stuff.
It's like after he shit on the floor. He said, by the way, it's going to cost half of your mortgage payment to get the system. Have a nice day. They walked over the shit as he left the floor because it just couldn't have been. It was like, I remember when like every gaming website I went to shut down. IGN, Sony Gaff. I mean, the server just stopped because it was so stupid. It was unbelievable, and you look at it. But going back to the games, and I'll let you guys continue. I'm a gigantic fan of Crackdown 1. I think it's one of the top 10 best games I've ever played. I loved it that much. I think it played so well. It had a shit story, but it played so well. And if the rumors about this new SDK are true, that they've finally found a way to start getting more performance out of the system, and then because that might be a reason why a lot of games have gotten pushed back, is to get this thing finalized so they can get more out the system. I think that's a real smart move. Let Gears become something great. Let Halo 5 become something great. Titanfall, I think that's going to survive. Quantum Break is interesting because it's made by a quality dev, and they're including an entire season's worth of a TV show with it. It's different. It's ambitious.
Oh,
You don't know how it's going to play out, but it's not just a guy with a gun. It's something more to it. They've got some things to work with.
The second
Alright.
Quantum Break comes out, I'm gonna go buy a white Xbox One and Quantum Break.
Yeah, I want one with no disc drive.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want
Yeah.
fuck the disc drive. I won't even buy Blu-rays anymore. I'll
It
just
has.
buy.
It has to.
I
have
can't even express it more.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The,
can't wait.
the disc drive has to have 1 terabyte drive though.
So KW, oh definitely. KW, what do you think about the not so distant future here for Microsoft? Some of these rumors, and let me just to add a little spice to the pot. Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive also coming out, holiday and fall of 2014. So when you're staring down the barrel of 5 or 6 really powerful franchises possibly coming down the pipe for Microsoft, should Sony be scared?
I think they definitely are scared from a games standpoint for 2014, and they should be because these are new IPs we're talking about. We're not talking about rehashes. We're not talking about the typical Halo. We're not talking about Forza. We're not talking about Gears. We're talking about Quantum Break. We're talking about Sunset Overdrive. Those 2 games seem to be different on many levels, and Sean said a lot about Quantum Break. I think all of that's very, very true. Sunset Overdrive, I think, is a much different game just from the standpoint of you've got a different artistic take on the first person, or I think it's first person shooter, but it might be third person. I don't know.
Quantum Break's third person.
No, Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, I'm
Sunset
sorry.
Overdrive.
Sunset. Yeah, I don't. Do we? We don't know.
They
do we? Do we know?
they haven't announced it yet.
yet. Nope.
They haven't announced it yet. I think we're going to see a lot more of that at E3, hopefully. And like I said, I think there will be one other game that has not been announced yet that will debut on a Microsoft console that is an exclusive this year at E3.
Yeah,
Mark my words, though. Microsoft will lose Quantum Break.
When you say that, what do you mean, Animal Mother?
It will. Remedy is at home on PC. Whatever deals Microsoft signed with Remedy right now, Quantum Break will come to the PC.
But okay, so you bring up a really good point. And let's talk a little bit about that, because I don't think that it coming to PC diminishes it being on a Microsoft console.
If it's lost immediately. If it's on PC, if it's available on another platform, if I can go get it somewhere else, if I can go get a hamburger from fucking McDonald's and Burger King, whatever one's closer diminishes the place. If I like McDonald's hamburgers more than I like Burger King hamburgers,
a lot of people.
Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. If I'm farther from a McDonald's and I'm close to a Burger King, I'm still gonna get a fucking Burger King hamburger because I'm fucking hungry. If I can play Quantum Break on my PC because I have a better PC and it's better than my one, you've
brought up the perfect point, though. You said if I can go get it on my PC, I have the best PC. Not everybody has the best PC.
Not everyone
apparently on System Wars, everybody got a PC that can run every game at the highest settings.
No,
that's apparently the case.
Everyone on System Wars you can classify as a hardcore gamer. You're rolling out the mom standing in Target with her 2 kids that see the game and want to buy it.
Yeah, it has.
But it does diminish because it is available somewhere else.
But Microsoft doesn't care, though. They could care less if it comes to PC.
Nobody cares.
They don't care.
We care.
What operating system can play it outside of Windows?
Don't give me that horse shit. Don't give me
that.
It's
not. I mean, it's the truth.
Microsoft does not make royalties. Microsoft does not make royalties.
Still need to be on the ecosystem.
Games.
Still need to operate system. It doesn't matter.
There are plenty of people out there that get games to work on Linux.
Yeah, but guys, we're going down the avenue now of the argument for the console exclusive. Yeah, of course, Animal's got to get on his fucking moped and drive right down the fucking right down Main Street.
Tells me, hey, you come off angry on the board.
I come off angry in real life.
A podcast.
Well, no, just to bring things back to center, though. I mean, obviously, we could go round and round and round for another 2 hours just on multi-plat and console exclusive alone. I think the bottom line there is that we all can sit and look each other in the eye and come to the agreement that just because a game is on another platform doesn't mean that it's still not important for its direct competitor. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be on Sony. And if it's not on fucking Sony, then Microsoft fans can talk about it, in a negative way towards Sony. Although there's also a point there with Animal Mother saying that, if it's on another platform, then technically people can get it.
But so past Remedy games have been on Sony though, so I wouldn't be shocked if it came later on.
But here's the point I wanted to make, and then I'm going to pass it to you guys. It's this. Microsoft is having that game run side by side with some type of exclusive video content, aren't they?
But isn't that
it's supposed to come with an entire season of a television show that's being filmed, and I don't think Remedy's got the money to fund that. I think Microsoft has fit the bill for the right people to do this.
And that's where I'm going.
And it will never end up on anything unless Microsoft allows it.
So what we're saying here is that Microsoft is actually creating original content for their Xbox One to show the world just how amazing this new entertainment medium can be, where you have your cable TV running side by side with your video games, and the content is going to bridge that, that barrier between the two. There is no way that Microsoft is going to allow that TV show to run off the side on PC when it's literally selling their Xbox One idea and vision.
Yeah, but is Microsoft producing it, and B, we're going to be able to get it on PC anyways at the end of the day. Somebody's going to upload.
But they're going to allow it. I mean, what I'm saying is that Remedy is a well-known company and well-liked, but they don't produce Call of Duty. They're not a gigantic. This is a big undertaking to do a TV show. They can't do it cheap. It can't be Sharknado. I'm not saying it's going to be Law and Order, but it can't be Sharknado.
Did you see the Night Springs and the stuff Remedy produced? The Night Springs show, and what was it?
They're very talented, but this is it's. I just get the feeling
I think they can do it. Listen, anybody can go out there. I could take a loan for $20,000 and go create a kick-ass TV pilot. No matter how good it is up to me. I mean, it probably.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Microsoft is treating Quantum Break like a tier 2 title. Very important. Not Halo, Gears, Titanfall, but I get the feeling it's really on that secondary level sitting next to a Forza. And I think that they've probably gone to them and said, who do you need? Because we don't know anything about the TV show. We've seen snippets of a live action scene. We don't even know if any of those people will actually be in the show. We haven't heard about a director, a writer, nothing. Well, I don't even know if they filmed it yet or not, to be perfectly honest.
That show has to be filmed and ready to go if it's being developed alongside the game. I have a history in film and television, and if they're doing something like that, it's got to be. It's not wrapped. It might not be wrapped, but it's definitely in production.
But it's not cheap. Microsoft's not going to let them put Sharknado on the Xbox One.
But it's Remedy. They have their own quirky stuff about them. Yeah. I mean, like we said, look at the Night Springs show and the stuff they put out for the Xbox prior to Alan Wake, which I forgot the name of. It doesn't have to be Sharknado, you're right. But as far as entertainment goes, it doesn't have to be like a Breaking Bad or Walking Dead
or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, trust me. The show's probably in development, and Sam Lake is probably overseeing both development of the game and the show, because a lot of that stuff can be done in a 1,000-foot by 1,000-foot warehouse.
Yeah.
And it could
I just don't know if I believe that a game Microsoft is obviously touting as being very important. They don't have a hand in ensuring that this is some top quality stuff. And not to say that Remedy couldn't do it, but money is still money. And I just think I don't, Quantum Break, I just believe, and I certainly don't know for a fact, will only be out on a system if Microsoft says so. If it ends up on PC, because they don't really care about PC. Microsoft has already shown, we'll put it on PC. We don't care. That doesn't enter into their mind.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and I'm reading some articles here now, and from the some of the developers here at Remedy talking about Quantum Break, and I found this paragraph to be kind of interesting, and as we kind of close up this topic, but he said this is clearly a strategic move for them as well. This is something we have crazy ideas, but we need to fall back and let the full force of a company like Microsoft see it through.
There
The
we go.
CEO of Remedy
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
So
Good night, everybody.
yeah, I mean, I think that Microsoft obviously has quite a hand in the direction of this franchise. And like I said, if this is a franchise that is actually showing the public the actual nut and bolts, this is our vision, people. Look at what we've created. We've got this original content coming to you via TV. We've got this electronic comic book, as Fox Bad Alpha put it, coming at us, and this is what's going to sell the vision of Xbox One. I don't see them putting it on PC. I do agree with you, though. Animal Remedy does go PC, but I just don't see this one doing it.
It's where their home is, and they won't betray that audience at the end of the day.
They'll do the job of
The
the hat. They've
audience,
shown that.
their audience is nice, but the audience don't pay the bills. Microsoft do.
No, but
That's what it always comes down to.
But the audience got Remedy to where they were,
And that's happy. Hey, audience got Justin Bieber where he is too.
but that. But you know
Canada?
what? Remedy, there's
Jail.
Sorry, yeah.
But the thing is, they're two different things. You know, Remedy had the full force of Microsoft with Alan Wake, and once the PC version started popping up, and people were like, we want the PC version of this game. Remedy came out, and within 11 months, within a year, I think it was within 6 months, they're like, all right, you guys got it. Listen.
Yeah. Here's the difference, though, Animal, is that, a game like Alan Wake, which we were hoping was going to be gangbusters, both in quality and the amount that it sold, it didn't achieve the heights that Microsoft was maybe willing to deal with to go further with it as a, exclusive game, and thus released it and said, oh, we'll just, let Remedy do what when they've been good to us, we'll be good to them. If Quantum Break comes out and doesn't do much, it doesn't really light the world on fire like Alan Wake didn't, maybe Microsoft will release and say we're not going to put multi-millions of dollars behind this project anymore. But if it does do good, if it does revolutionize and show the vision of the X1, you better believe it's going to stay exclusive.
Yeah, I
You
think
look
every
at
exclusive has a
Microsoft's-
fallback plan.
Well, that's true. But you look at Microsoft's plan and how they've done things. I love Mass Effect, but Mass Effect 1 sales didn't set the world on fire. It went multi-plat. Gears of War, they let it come out on the PC, but no more came out on PC after that. If they deem it important to the base and the overall ecosystem of that company, they are not afraid to pull out that paycheck and pay whatever. Epic owns Gears of War. It owned in the past
Microsoft
Gears of
owns
War.
it, yeah.
Well, they own it now, but after the first game, Epic could have put a Gears of War on the PS2. I mean the PS3. Now, Epic is smart. As much as we all like, System Wars and games, and we don't love these companies because they don't give a crap about us more than the money, you want to be friends with the 280-pound gorilla than the other gorilla that's kind of anemic and ain't eaten much lately.
All right.
It's you choosing your friends here. But Epic could have done it. It's the same way I look at it with Titanfall. As much as I think the PS4 is going to lead in sales this gen, lead in sales this year, it is simply more powerful and easier to develop for and gonna get better. There's a check and a number at Respawn. And even if they say no, there's a number and they will pay it if they feel Titanfall is important.
All right. Aside from Titanfall, quick question: when was the last time a Remedy game sold gangbusters on a console? Max Payne 1 didn't do it. Max Payne 2 didn't do it. Alan Wake certainly didn't do it because they proved, what was it, within 2 weeks, Alan Wake had sold double on PC than it had sold on the Xbox One lifetime.
Yeah, but do you think that that's because people see the word Remedy on the box and don't buy it, or is it because the games that they create are just maybe not?
The games they create, I think, are for the PC market. I think that companies like Microsoft and Sony gobble them up, but I think these games are best played on PC, and I think Remedy even knows that.
Probably.
And I think Remedy creates games for the PC, but companies come along and Remedy needs to stay alive for the time being.
But Quantum Break looks like the kind of game that is going to require some major money behind it. Not only in development, but just
But
in
they
marketing.
bet the farm on Alan Wake.
I don't know if it's the same process as this. This looks Alan Wake looked like a very good video game. This is asking you to invest in a game and an entire television series, an entire season on a disc. That's pretty ambitious to ask about, and I just don't think that's cheap. And even though, of course you can do some amazing things without millions of dollars. I mean, obviously that's possible. I get the feeling that Microsoft has partnered with them to have the checkbook ready to get the quality up. And I don't. Remedy makes great games. I like the first Alan Wake. I like it a lot. I'm a
really
fan of it. Yeah, it didn't sell on Xbox One because Xbox One is the dude bro system. Come on, ain't nothing wrong with dude bro. We are dude bro. What the hell are we? Come on. I mean, it's a joke to say we're not, but that's what it is.
It leads back to my original thing. Microsoft feels they have to make such a shockwave in the industry that you have to have an Xbox in your home, whether it's a Halo television show or you heard from your neighbor about this Quantum Break game that has this episode you unlock that you shape and craft and dictate and direct based on what you do in the gameplay. I think they're going to keep it all to themselves just because they need for this to ride a little bit.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't believe it'll come out on PC someday. It's possible because Microsoft just doesn't see the PC as a direct hindrance to the Xbox One. That's why Titanfall is coming out. If they thought Titanfall shouldn't come out, it would. This is all money. If we sit here and try to act like these, and you've heard me say this dumb shit on System Wars, if we treat video game companies like they're our grandma, that's going to make us cookies and apple pie because they love us and they hug us and they care about our well-being.
I love it.
It's stupid. It's all money. Vince at Respawn, if you offer him a blank check and say, put down your contract, put down your money, we want you to be first party and we want Titanfall with us. Even if he need to think about it for 3 days, there'll be a number in his head. There will be a number, and it'll get paid, and that'll be the end of it. And that's the same for any of these companies because it is all about money and about the people that you employ and the longevity of being able to do what you love to do, and that requires big money. It's just a hard business. Samsung and Apple have big money, and they haven't gotten into it yet. They may someday, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to close up the podcast then today. We've actually had a great time talking with you guys. I'm so glad. I don't think there was a break in the whole conversation, man. You guys know how to fill time, so we really appreciate you guys being on the show. Before we leave, I just want to say we'll say one word answer here. Is the Xbox One going to, in the end, defeat the PlayStation 4? KW.
Yes, I do think so.
Sean W. Or sorry, Sean 30.
Give you 10 seconds, man. The answer is no, because if this thing sells in Japan, even when they drop the price and they have the big games, we will not overcome Japan.
All right, Fox.
The lemming in me has to say yes.
That's an evil laugh.
How about you, Animal? What do you think?
No.
Isle?
Nope, because of what Sean says, and it looks like, at least for right now, PlayStation is going to be on parity for North America. So that's where Microsoft really needed to put the screws down, and it looks like it's going to be either Sony a little ahead or at least with them, so no.
All right.
What about you,
Rika? Do I have to give mine? Ah, Jesus. I'm gonna say from a console sold standpoint, no. But I think that by the end of the generation, much like we saw Sony have a tremendous comeback in the PlayStation 3 generation, and really make a strong argument for it being, side by side with the Xbox 360, I think that the Xbox One can prove to be the more valuable purchase by the end of the generation. I think if they get their act straight throughout the next 5-6 years and really start focusing back on a gamer-centric piece of hardware, I think that it can absolutely trump the PlayStation 4 from a games perspective.
All right, let's do one more bonus question, too. Which game coming out this year, did you know, include Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive, do do you most want, most anticipated? Let's go with KW.
I'm gonna say Evolve actually. Even though it's a multi-plat and even though it's going to be on other systems, I really want that game. After what I've seen this week, I think it's going to be another Left 4 Dead type moment where it's going to be a system seller for a lot of the for PS4 and for the one.
I had no idea that Evolve was actually a sold IP from the THQ liquidation. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Huh. Anyways, how about Foxbat?
The default answer is Titanfall, but that aside, I'm actually looking forward to Ground Zeroes. I don't think we're going to see, the Phantom Pain this year. But yeah, like KW said, actually some of the multiplats. The other real big one.
You really said Ground Zero?
Yeah,
Hold on, man. I'm about to start playing Ground Zero.
Are you?
All right, I'm done.
I know it's a glorified demo. I know, but
Oh
I've been
my
reading
gosh.
more on it. What?
No, I don't
I
get
mean,
me
come
started.
on, man.
I'm looking.
That's
forward
like
to it.
that's like
Yeah, he
paying
gives
a
his
woman
own
to
opinion
stroke
like
your
that.
finger.
Foxbat, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to Ground Zeroes too. That game is going to be awesome, and you can buy it digitally, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to
High
it.
five.
All right.
I'm building up to my answer, and I think it had rumors it was getting pushed to 2015, but until they released the date, it is The Division.
Mm.
Nice. Sean, what do you think?
Titanfall, if the rumor about 16 maps is true, I think that would be big, really big Titanfall. But game-wise overall, I want Mass Effect 4. Don't know. I mean, I really have no doubt it's not coming out this year. But it'll be gigantic for me. I'm a huge fan of the trilogy. It'll be good on either system. Next gen is what it probably could have even waited to come out for to begin with. I really would not even want it on a 360 or PS3. So Mass Effect 4.
All right, Animal.
Tough call. I really don't know what I'm excited for right now. Just Infamous.
Ground fucking zero.
But Ground Zeroes is going to be really kick-ass too.
But how can you justify $40 for a 90-minute game?
First off, there are two reports. There
Okay.
is a 4 to 5 hours from who was it? I think it was Eurogamer, and then there was 2 to 3 hours. Barring all gaming habits, anybody can speed run a game depending on how they play it. If Game Informer just skipped everything and rushed through it, then yeah, it could be 2 hours. You could beat fucking Chrono Trigger, a 20-hour game, in 2 hours, 2 to 6 hours. You know, like anybody could do speed runs with any game, barring how they look at things.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the game will be fine. I think I'll probably have 3 to 4 hours with it, and it'll be a really fantastic game. And for what people say, like, how could you justify $40? I don't have to. I can wait for a fucking sale if I want to. I won't, but sales exist.
Same here, man.
All right.
Sales exist, and nobody holds a gun to your head to buy it at full price.
Hey, man, we're all hypocrites, man.
For
Yeah,
me,
we are.
I want Sunset Overdrive because I love Insomniac. I haven't seen much of the game, but the art direction and music and the overall tone of almost a lighthearted zombie apocalypse type game looks pretty sweet. And then for multi-platform, I'm gonna pick Destiny. So.
Oh, Destiny. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right,
You
Roach,
know,
what about
I'm
you?
not hyped for Destiny. I don't know.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm not hyped for Destiny either.
Are crazy. sir.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, no, I
Hey,
can't
look
wait
at
for
their own
that game.
opinions.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say for Sony exclusive, I can't wait for Infamous. For a Microsoft exclusive, I can't wait for. I'm gonna say Fable Legends. I've been itching to get back into the
Yeah.
world of Fable. It's been too long. Animal and I have been talking about Fable 3 lately, and we both share a common love for Fable 3, even though it's the most hated of the series. And I'm looking forward to getting back into that neck of the woods. Multi-plat overall, Mass Effect 4 with a bullet. Nothing even comes close.
All right.
All right,
You
Garrus.
notice how some of the biggest Xbox One games are either pushed back or we don't know even when they're coming out. I really think that the optimization and the development kits and just the tools maturing have there. It's been late in doing that. You know,
Yeah,
I
they're
just
still
really
waiting
think it's
for
been
'em.
late. Well, yeah, they're still waiting for them, and I think now we're starting to see some stuff. Titanfall looks good to me. It doesn't look great. It looks like it plays great. It ain't gonna win no graphics, competition or no shit like that. But I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm gonna play it anyway. So,
And I played so many hours of Counter Strike and Unreal Tournament
oh
that
yeah,
graphics,
man.
when you're having fun and it's competitive, graphics to me take a back seat. So
Yeah.
Imagine if Killzone was a good game.
no,
I mean, if it was like, if it was a, I mean, I know some people think it is a good game.
If it was
Look,
Minecraft good.
no, but
Yeah,
Minecraft money.
no other game will have that ever.
Like if Bungie had Killzone's image, we wouldn't have no discussion. That game's gonna sell 6 million copies. No discussion. But good, but it's they got their own style and their own thing, and I like Rise, and I know plenty of people don't give a crap about that. So
we still got to
it
play
is what
that
it is.
too.
Yeah. I love that game. I think that's got that Rise 1 is a joke. Rise 2 has the potential to be fantastic.
I
But
disagree.
potential is,
I don't think Rise One's a joke. I know I got 4 out of 10, but I really liked it. I don't know how many kills I ended up getting, but
Oh,
I'd still play
the
it again.
arena is something else. Those
Yep.
arena fights are something else.
Shame Crytek is free to play now.
Hmm.
That was their last game.
All right.
All right, cool. So let's shut it down then. We want to take a quick minute to say thanks to Sean30. Thanks, dude, for coming on.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yep. We want to say thanks to KW2. Thank you, KW.
Anytime, love doing it. Would love to do it in the future.
Absolutely. And also want to say thanks to Foxbat Alpha. Thanks, Foxbat.
Yeah, I hope to get to chat with you guys soon.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And I'm going to kick it over now to Animal Mother, who's going to then kick it over to Heil to get us out of here. See you guys.
Thank you, everybody. It's always a pleasure having everybody on, and we were looking to expand Pedal to the Metal and make it something really awesome. Heil, the #legendary master.
Yeah. Thanks to all joining. So I will catch you next time. Later.